Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Tokyo Tropic Turtles Draft to Glory franchise mode here in MLB The Show 24. So in last episode, we had the Year 4 draft, and it was actually a pretty interesting draft for our team. We managed to make some pretty solid additions to our future roster, which I will show you guys right now. As you can see here, let me actually remove my face for a second so you guys can see like the overalls and stuff again. We drafted Kazuhito Hayashi, who's a 59 overall with 81 potential, so not too bad on that front. Obviously, he could outgrow that potential if he continues to actually play good. The one thing I don't really like about Hayashi, though, is his home runs per 9. As you can see, only a 19, which is not good at all, so hopefully he could develop that into being much better in like the 50-60 range, because obviously 19, he's going to give up probably a decent amount of dingers, which is not great. As for our other picks, we grabbed Philip Chung with our second pick, and he is fantastic. 62 overall at 18 with 93 potential, so probably one of our best steals we've gotten in the series so far up to this point. We also got David Nall, who's a 64 at 21 with 78 potential, so pretty useful still. High overall, a little bit of a low potential, but might be able to outgrow it. Same thing goes for like Leonard Sato, 73 overall at 21 with 76 potential. I think he could definitely outgrow that. He's got some really good hits per 9, Ks per 9, walks per 9, home runs a 9. This guy should be a very solid relief pitcher at the major league level. We also got Robert Matsui, who's basically the exact same thing as David Nall, but a little bit lower potential-wise. We also have Eric Yamashita, who's probably one of our worser picks in a sense, just based on his overall right now. However, he does have the potential to be one of the best relievers of the bunch that we've drafted. And then we also have Hiroyuki Yamada, who's actually pretty good too. He's a 69 overall at 18, but he only has 64 potential, so obviously sucks that he's a D potential player, but he should be able to outperform that D potential and become useful at the major league level. I think he should at least be up to a C potential at some point, because he should probably perform well in AA at least, or maybe even AAA for that matter. So it was a very good draft for us, and I hope that obviously in future years we continue to draft well and build up the future of this roster. But that's basically that. That's what happened in last episode. Let's get into your guys' comments actually now and see what you guys have to say about last episode, and then we will make some adjustments accordingly, and we'll simulate through the rest of Year 4. We'll also get through the entire offseason in this episode. So the first comment is from Ep.13, who says, Sato should be an everyday DH over Park. His hitting stats are OP, and he has better potential. So I totally agree with that. So we are going to go over to our lineup in AA, and we are going to change Sato over to the DH on this team, and we're gonna put him in the 6th spot. I believe Park, he can actually play second base, that's right, but I think I probably would change him in Yokoyama or Yabu, even for that matter. Actually, Yabu's D potential. Let's get Yokoyama back in the lineup. Park's gonna be a bench guy now, and yeah, having Sato as a DH is a great call, because he has been fantastic so far, and he's definitely due for a big upgrade probably if he ends up the season like his current stats. So we'll do that. We'll also change this, and we want Sato in. That's right. So we want Sato in, Park out, and that's basically the adjustment. So hopefully Sato has a good rest of the season in AA, and hopefully he could get that upgrade that like Tom Lee got last season, because obviously that would help him out a lot in terms of changing that D potential into something more useful. Actually, it's not a D potential, is it? This is maybe a C potential. What was his potential? Is it C? Yeah, C potential. The only thing that's going against him is his age, but he is definitely performing well enough that he should get an upgrade, which is good. The next two comments are from Dylan Bros. The first one says, Sato is looking like he should either start in the MLB or AAA and see after a month or two, worth being on the 40-man roster. Also for Yamada, I'd put his potential up to a 69 overall. Just my thoughts. So he was saying with Yamada, since his overall is a 69, he should have at least 69 potential, which I'd probably agree with. So there is a chance that in this offseason, when I'm actually having him on the roster, I'll change his potential to a 69. However, obviously we won't give him any more potential boost until he's actually performing at the AA and AAA level. Then he could definitely outgrow that 69 potential into maybe a 75, maybe even up to an 80. Depends on actually how he performs on the roster. But I totally agree about what you were saying about Sato being able to probably be in MLB or AAA next season because he is fantastic right now. So I think what we're going to do is what you said is probably put him in AAA to start and see after a month or two how he's performing in AAA. And then if he's actually doing well in AAA, we'll call him up to the major leagues and he might be one of the guys that cracked the roster as early as next season already. So that will be pretty exciting to have him in the lineup and also probably like Parker Iwamura because both those guys are probably the closest to being ready. Also, Dylan says, also, it might be worth putting the players not every day playing in single A just so they get to play more. So he's saying for the players currently, like, say, that are in double A here, the guys that aren't playing, so Yabu, Park, to put them in single A, which is an interesting thing. The only thing is I don't know if we have enough players if I do that right now. But for future years, I definitely think that's a decent idea, just because obviously these guys are not getting as much time to play on the field, so it probably makes sense for them to still get some bench time, or not bench time in a sense, get some double A time or single A time. They're not actually going to have stats, but they will develop a bit faster probably that way instead of sitting on the bench and just watching these games. However, Yabu has been mostly a bench bat, and he's have 124 at bats, so some of these bench guys are actually still getting a decent amount of playing time, it seems like, in my opinion. And a final comment is from Nick Bucker Barons OC, who says the draft after the first two picks looked weak, yet you made the right pick each round, and it looks like a strong class. And I agree, it didn't look like the best draft class on paper, but we managed to make do with it, and we grabbed some pretty good players in it. So very happy with how that draft ended up for our team. And like I said, hopefully we have some more good drafts ahead of us to continue building up the future of this team. I think we have a lot of good players in terms of most positions, but obviously there's definitely areas that we could still target. So anyways, let's go to the contract extensions here first before we start simulating. Tom Kuhn needs an extension. He's already trying to get over $1 million, which is interesting. It does make sense though, because next year he probably would be in our relief pitcher pool in the MLB next season because he's already used all his minor league options. So it kind of makes sense. I'm trying to think of how many years I should give him right now. He has 3 years of whatever the RNW stands for. I don't even remember exactly. I know arbitration is after that, so he's not going to be a free agent till the earliest 7 years still out. So I will give him a 2-year deal of what he's asking for, I think, just because I'm a nice person. And he could be, honestly, like I said, in the major leagues next season, which is good. So some of these other guys I'll probably wait on, but actually maybe I'll just sign some of these guys already that we got in the Rule 5 draft and stuff just to give us that depth a little bit already. We are going to have to overpay on some guys, but is what it is. We'll just give them 1-year deals because most of them are stopgap type players anyways. You want 2 years, Sasaki? We'll give you 2 years then. Or more than a year, I should say. There you go. Okay, so that's all good and ready to go. Let's continue to simulate, I guess. We'll start following Double-A because obviously we want to take a look at how good the players finish off the Double-A season and how our prospects do. We won't focus on the major leagues at all because the major league team will not win a game this season, probably. If they do somehow, that would be surprising because they have not won a game yet. So let's go to the 30th and see how Double-A does and see if any of those guys have some good games. And hopefully, like I said, our top prospects are going to be getting some good growth, and some of them might get promoted to AAA next season, which is very exciting. Auto on that. Auto on that. Auto on that. Jesus Christ, I get so much notifications. Hey, we've won 3 games this month. 4 games this month, not bad. Auto on that. Auto on that as well. So we did win a total of, how many games is that? 6 games this month. Maybe one more? No, we lost 18-0. Alright, well, at least the team's 9-49. We do have a few more games left. We have 2 series, my bad. Damn, I'm completely out of it because my phone broke just yesterday when I was at the gym. So getting that repaired, and I've been a little bit weird without my phone, to be honest. It's just really weird how much you actually rely on your phone, you know? Anyways, we need to call up some guys to the major leagues, so we are going to go to a roster and 40-man, and we'll call up guys that are not up here yet. So like Trenton Wallace, he could come up to the majors. I'm not going to call up Tom Coog because I just don't want to do that yet. We need, how much more players? How much more players we need? 2 more people, okay. Jonah Casilla, you could come up as well. And Travis Reeder. I just don't want to put Tom Koo up here yet because this team's not going to be good enough. Let's go a few games again. We do not have enough pitchers in AAA. Oh man, we're gonna have to sign some free agents here right at the end of the season. That's not fun. Oh well. Velasquez, 1 year deal. Sign you up. Thank you. You're looking for a longer contract. What if I give you more money? There you go. And we'll also sign. There's not even that much weak ass. Oh, I mean, I have to lower their overalls now too. God damn it, man. This is why I hate signing stuff so much late into the season. Okay, we signed 2 more pitchers. Let me see what those guys are. Where are they? Oh yeah, they're the 60 overall guys that aren't drafted. So Matthew Boyd, we are going to have to move you to AAA. And Velasquez, we're going to have to move you to AAA as well. And I am going to have to edit these guys down to 0 overall, so I apologize about this. Normally I don't have to do this, but we didn't have enough roster players, so you guys can kind of see a little bit of what I have to do every single time I edit these players down. So you can kind of see why I don't want them to retire after 1 year, just because there's so much stuff to do, especially pitchers, because you have to address all their pitches. You have to address their batting as well. It's just very tedious work, but I am excited though still anyways to get to this offseason and see where we're drafting next year, because obviously we'll get to finding out where that is. Hopefully we draft first overall or something like that. I don't know if there's going to be any good Japanese players next year though, or Asians, so who knows, maybe we don't want an early pick again. And we're almost done this pitcher, and then we got to do 1 more pitcher still. Friggin' ridiculous. There you go, this guy's good. And then we also got to do Vince Velasquez. Just to make it fair, because obviously I don't want these guys being good in double or triple A. I guess it doesn't really matter too much because they're not major leaguers, but still, just would rather keep it this way to make it a bit easier with injury management and all that type of thing. And also hopefully in the Rule 5 draft we can find ourselves some good players as well, because we haven't really had much luck with finding any Asians really in the Rule 5 draft, so it would be good to find some if possible. Now this pitcher actually has good, okay hitting stats. That's interesting. But obviously that does not matter because we're lowering him anyways. Okay, that should be pretty much almost ready to go. And then we could actually continue simulating, I think, at that stage, or we should be able to. Hopefully AA has enough players too, because that would be kind of annoying if they don't. Auto fix rotation. Yeah, let's go with that, sure. Tom Lee is no longer injured. That is fantastic news. He will be back in the lineup to end off the season. So Tom Lee will come into left field. Vincent Seo will come out. And vice versa. There you go. Boom. Having Tom Lee back is a really good thing for the AA team, because he's always one of the better players. Are you serious? That Vince Velasquez guy was literally just signed has strained his tricep. We'll just go keep active, because honestly I don't care about him. We'll go auto on that as well. Auto on that. Hey, I just had a 7-0 win. That's pretty nice. Auto utilize. Perfect. 7-0 win. It was Stan Nguyen pitching. That's nice. Okay, last game of the AA season coming up. Nomo was injured. He's out for a day or two. We'll go... Let's go auto on that, I guess, because it's right near the end of the season anyways. I don't think he's going to be back for the last game. He might be. Oh, he is back already. Let's just put him in for the last few games of the season. Man, too many injuries in this friggin' franchise. Nomo back in, which means Yamazaki out, I think. No, we were playing Nomo at third base, right? Yeah. It was at third base, that's right. Yeah, I had to just double check that. Perfect. Nomo seems to be heating up apparently here late in the season, which is also a great sign, because Nomo is one of the better prospects, I guess, that we have. Auto on that. And there is the end. Let's just go place on bench. I don't really care about that. Okay, these notifications need to stop. Thank you. Okay, 11-58 for the AA team. The question is, how good did our AA prospects do? We'll also take a look at how good AAA did in terms of prospects once their season is completely done as well. But let's see what we got here. Yamazaki batting at 220. Not too bad. 7 home runs, 31 RBIs. How good was his WAR and stuff like that? +1 WAR, that's not bad. I guess it's good that he had a plus WAR, but his stats aren't insane, but they're okay. They're okay. He's up to a 64 overall already too, which is nice. Russell Yang batting at 231. And I don't know how good he was. Was he better? No, -4. Okay. So not the best year for Russell Yang, but that was an okay year. Tom Lee, obviously he was injured for a good chunk, but he still batted over 300. He's up to a 67 overall. Yeah, Tom Lee was really good despite his injury. Yeah, great season from Tom Lee. He's probably going to get another boost, my guess. Charles Nomo batted at 255, 12 home runs, 56 RBIs. That's pretty good. A 255 average as well. So a pretty good year for Charles Nomo. He's probably going to get a bit of a boost. Probably like a +2, +3, something like that. I like it. Walter Choi at 235. And nothing fantastic. He is a deep potential player, but not bad, I guess. 18 doubles is nice. Did he have a positive WAR? Yeah, a little bit positive. Okay. Not terrible. Kevin Sato at 302. 302. Obviously, as a DH, he dropped off a little bit, it looks like, but Kevin Sato was really good. He might get a potential boost because of that. Yeah, not bad. 1.8 WAR. He was good. He was good. David Sasaki at 208. Not great average-wise for sure as a rookie, which is unfortunate. However, he did get 12 home runs, 39 RBIs, but his vision and discipline needs growth, and that's probably why he didn't have a good average. And he was just a little bit negative WAR-wise, so he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't good either. Yokoyama at 209. That's definitely a bad year for Yokoyama compared to last season. Only the 1 home run, but he was also on the bench at times. Yeah, he had a bit of a rough time. He had -2.8 this year, so Yokoyama really struggled. Hopefully he finds himself again. He might get a negative because of that, which is unfortunate. And then Mark Taguchi in his first season, a 194. A couple guys near the bottom of the order really struggled. But it kind of makes some sense, I guess. Yeah, -2.6. That's not great. Robert Yabu on the bench. Let me get rid of my face so you guys can actually see this maybe a bit more in depth. A 273. That's not too bad, but obviously limited at bats. And he was okay. Vincencio, a 248. He was okay. A 714 OPS. That's not bad considering he came back from injury this year. I'll take it. Raymond Park at 208 with 10 home runs, 48 RBIs. Yeah, a couple of these guys really struggled average-wise, but some other guys did really well. And that's basically that for our batting. What about our pitching? How did our pitching do in AA? Walter Young, a 4.66 ERA, a 1.55 whip. He's up to a 70 overall now, which is great. But how good was his quality starts? 28 games started, 7 quality starts. I don't know if I'm really sold on Jung's play. He did have a 3 WAR, which is good, but the quality start meter, that's like 1 every, I guess, 7, 14, 21, 28. Yeah, that's 1 every 4 games is a good game, which is a little bit low. So he needs to be maybe a bit better. Stan Nguyen, though, was pretty good. A 3.82 ERA and a 1.32 whip. 28 games started and 14 quality starts, so half of his games were good quality starts, so 1 every 2 games. So he was much better than Walter Young was or whatever this year. The WAR, though, a little bit less. And then in terms of our relievers, Eric Yamamoto really struggled this year. This was his first year, so I don't think I would probably demote him overall-wise yet. But, yeah, that was a rough showing for him. Yikes. He blew 6 saves, apparently. Then again, it's not a good team, so kind of makes some sense. He had a positive WAR, though. But, yeah, that ERA, that whip is pretty damn high. And then we also have Walter Cho, who was pretty good as a closer, actually. 3-1. So Walter Cho, not bad as a closer. 1 blown save, and he had 11 saves. That's pretty good. Really good ratio. So Walter Cho was pretty good, in my opinion. All right. So there is AA. Let's go to AAA now and finish off their season so we can see how those players did in the AAA year. Because we do have Parker Iwamura and stuff down there. We do have to send a guy down for the majors, apparently. So we'll send down Vince Velasquez down to triple? We'll go to double. Actually, he's already in AAA. Never mind. But I send down Brent Nunez to triple. There you go. I don't really care who gets sent down, to be honest. And Yu Chang has been injured. Let's go auto on that. And the Aviators have finished 10 and 140. And obviously our AA team 11 and 58. Can I take a look at AAA player stats now? Yes, I can. Okay, so I want to take a look at only the guys we drafted. So Brian Chu, a 231. It's okay. He's up to a 68 already at 19, which is nice. 14 home runs is pretty solid. -1 WAR. It's not terrible, but obviously not the best year for Brian Chu. We also have, in terms of batters, nobody else, so we need to go to the starting pitchers to see Iwamura's stats, which is going to be very exciting because Iwamura, obviously one of our better prospects, and oh my goodness, Parker Iwamura is cracked. Up to a 77 overall, and how old is he now? 21 years old. Absolutely great season from Parker Iwamura. 5 and 16 with a 1.95 ERA and a 1.03 WHIP. That is fantastic. I also don't know why Tom Kuz is starter. I guess it's because I went auto. God damn it, man. We'll take a look at his stats anyways. But Iwamura started 30 games this season and had 22 quality starts. Parker is the man. He's going to be Major League bound next season. And we'll see what he could do in his first season in the majors. Probably not good because the team's not going to be good still. But 22 quality starts is really friggin' amazing. 5.9 WAR as well. Didn't make a single error as well, which is pretty impressive. So Parker Iwamura, really, really good pitcher. And he might be a lot better than Walter Jung ends up being. Tom Koo was solid. Obviously, he must have started some games because they made him start 3 games. And he does not have the stamina to be a starter. So that's probably why his stats might be a little bit butchered, because for some reason the AI decided to put him as a starter. No quality starts makes sense. But the ERA and the WHIP is good. The WAR is 1. I'd say he did pretty well still, all things considered. And I think, yeah, that's it. That is it. All right, let's go back to the majors and get through this. That took a lot longer than I thought just to get through the rest of that stuff. So at some point, we might actually have to have the season wrap up in one episode and the off-season in a different episode, not combine the two, because we still have to get through the off-season, but at least we still have not a lot of work to do in terms of the off-season. So okay, so we finished 0-162 again for the 4th consecutive season. That doesn't matter too much. There's a look at the playoff bracket in case you guys wanted to see. The team playing Atlanta is St. Louis, just in case you didn't see that. But I don't really care about the major league stats right now because obviously no players are on our team, but next season there will be, which is exciting. So let's see who ends up winning the World Series in year number 4. Who is it going to be? The Houston Astros have beaten the Cincinnati Reds in 2027. Just what everybody wanted to see the Astros win more. God damn it, that sucks. Anyways, no on that front. We don't really care too much about all that stuff. Let's get to the offseason and see what we got to do. So, we do got to get some new coaches in, it looks like. Yep, okay. All right. I see all that. Few retired players. Oh, my goodness, you're kidding me. Even with the potentials not getting changed, we're still getting all these retirements, guys. Looks like a lot of players didn't retire still, but we did still lose like 20 players to retirement. Some of them are probably due to age. Some of them are due to injuries. Damn it, man. I have more work to do this offseason again. That's not fun. I don't like that at all. Anyways, let's get to the review staff part. We do got to bring in a lot of coaches, but obviously we're not at the stage where it's going to matter too much still. But let's just offer some of these coaches some contracts. Oh, man. Yeah, we got a lot of work ahead of us. Pitching and a first base coach. We need and a third base coach. So many different coaches to bring in. We kind of want to have an okay pitching coach just to help with Parker Iwamura in his first season. So we'll go with that. First base and third base, I said. Yep, first base. Actually, not third base. First base and a farm director. And a farm director. We'll go with you as a first base. And we need also, I said, a farm director, right? Yeah. Hopefully all these guys accept, because I just don't have the patience for some of the stuff this offseason. Let's see. We'll go with you as our farm director. Perfect. Okay. So that's all good. We don't have any free agents to negotiate with. Let's send to free agency 1. See if those coaches accept. Blackman is accepted. Daly. There was a trade that I don't care about. Sparky Anderson. I didn't even realize I offered a contract to a guy named Sparky. Makes him sound like a mascot. Mick Braley accepts as well. And that should be almost it. Let's go no on that front. Is that it for our coaches and stuff like that we need? Probably. Let's double check on that. My view. Where do I see my staff? Coach contracts. Yep, we got all our coaches. Okay, perfect. That's good. Select 40-man roster. Is there any guys that I care about losing? No. None of those guys. They do have A potential, but they're low overall-wise because obviously getting lowered. Salary arbitration. We'll obviously just give these guys contracts to continue filling out a roster, but some of them are trying to get paid drastically as a 6 overall, which is kind of ridiculous. Let me lower this a little bit here. Imagine getting paid $3 million as a 6 overall. Enjoy that money there, Pat Hatfield. I could offer arbitration actually on some of these guys, but might as well just give them what they're trying to get. And let's see, I have to get you for 2.6. Perfect. Okay, so that's good. I don't really care about the 40-man stuff. Tender contracts. So yes, Parker Iwamura is obviously the big one. He only wants 120K for 1 year. How many years until he becomes a free agent? I'm curious on that. 3 years, 6 years, basically. Alright. I could already lock him up like long term if I really wanted. No, I can't actually go more than a year. Never mind. Soon enough, I'll be able to give him a long-term deal. And that'll be exciting that when that time comes. So we'll get all of our prospects signed up here. And also the low overall guys too, just because I don't want to have to do so much work this offseason. Because, yeah, off-seasons are kind of tedious. And one of the most things I hate about this game. Just it takes so long to get through all these type of things. But then again, I put myself in a situation limiting us to a Draft to Glory series, but I love Draft to Glories. Draft to Glories are probably my favorite type of franchise mode to do. Get all these guys signed up. It's good to see that we almost have like a full AA, AAA squad, and that some guys will be in the majors next season. Like, we're starting to get to that point where we're going to actually maybe win some games once we get guys on the major league team. So, that's going to be exciting when that time comes. Oh my goodness, so many contracts. I apologize about any flashing on the screen because this screen is still a giant flashbang. I don't know why they decided to go back to white menus. Like, I get it looks nice, but also it burns your eyes. We'll sign also all these 1 overall dudes because we just are low overall dudes because we need them still to fill out the other leagues a bit. Let's go with that. Perfect. Thank you. Make an offer, take the money. Spencer Mraz as well. I don't know where it skipped down from. Peter Iwamura, at least Parker's brother, or older brother we could say, is still on the team. Steve Hubbard, 1-year deal. Take the money. I don't really give a shit what you're getting money with. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can see why I'm kind of like, I don't like this off-season stuff. I hate how much work it takes. That's why I wish I could just go to a draft every single episode, because the drafts are so much fun though. Just not knowing what you're going to get until you actually sign the players. Like, I kind of wish NHL adopted something like that too at some point. Okay, so we still have a lot to sign up here. Oh my god. At least we didn't have that much retirements. Like, we had a decent chunk, but it wasn't like our entire team decided to dip out. So that's at least good. That'll just make it a little bit easier for us to have maybe a full roster still next season. Who knows, even with the guys that we drafted, maybe those guys that we drafted are basically replacements for the guys that retired. So maybe we don't actually even need to sign really anything in this offseason. So this might be the most work we have to do. We'll probably have to still sign a few players and lower some of them in between episodes, but nowhere near as much as prior years, which is good. I don't even care if I'm overpaying on some of these dudes. They could take all the money they want right now. Okay, we're almost finally to the bottom of this damn list, and I apologize. This is probably boring as shit. Like, I don't think I would watch somebody just go through this part. Like, I could technically cut this out of the episode, but you guys are here for the run, so let's get through it. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I offered a contract to almost everybody here. Let me double check on this. Oh, there's a couple of people with no offers yet. Take the money, boy. Take the money. Oh, another person. Yaya. We got to get Yaya back for sure. And Schilling. It's because it skips all over the place when you offer some contracts. Okay, so obviously all those guys are good. Yep, we're good, I think. Just got to double check on this. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Yep, we're good. We are good. Perfect. So that's all good, and that's all good. That doesn't matter. Let's sim to free agency too. And see if all those guys accept, which they probably will. Couple guys in free agency signing couple guys in free agency signing in different places. Reed Detmer signs a 6-year deal with the Rockies. Just in case you guys wanted an idea of what was happening in this offseason. Okay, so it looks like all the contracts are good. Yep, perfect. Okay. Yeah, Iwamura and Sato definitely, I think, could be both major bound next season. Sato's probably going to be playing, though, in AAA to start, but I will already add him to our 40-man roster. Only Major League free agents may be added to the 40-man roster between November 20th. Oh, so I have to wait still because I just literally drafted him, I guess, still. That kind of sucks. Oh, well. Let's continue to simulate. No. And, yeah, we'll just continue simulating until we get to now the Rule 5 draft, I guess, and also the draft lottery. Boom. Boom. A lot of guys signing places. I don't really care too much about that. Brandon Marsh. Okay, winter meetings, which means we're going to find out where we're drafting soon. And I'm a little bit scared about where we're going to be drafting. So, Rule 5 draft similar to that. Let's go to the draft lottery. Oh boy. Once again, obviously, we have the best odds. The Rockies also have the best odds, and same with the Washington Nationals. I feel like we're going to fall back again. I just have not won a draft lottery yet in this franchise mode, so I wouldn't be surprised if we stay at number 1, or not, if we fall off from 1 to like 4 or 5. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Hopefully a team like the Giants don't end up winning again, though. But let's see, where are we going to be drafting in the upcoming draft? And hopefully if we do draft number 1, there's a generational Japanese guy, because that would be the perfect scenario. But I don't know if that would happen, but it would be very nice. Let's see where we're drafting. Will it be first overall for the first time in franchise history is the question. We're going to be drafting... Come on, load. Ah, we fell back to 3rd. And the Angels move up with a 1.1% chance from 12 to 2. They were literally just below 500, yet they get a 2nd overall selection. This almost feels like the NHL game draft lottery scenario, just where you don't ever seem to win the draft lottery. Like, we've won no games whatsoever yet where you have the 3rd overall selection. At least it's a high pick. It's better than last year's pick. But that does suck, especially if there's a good Japanese or Asian player out there. The Marlins do have the 1st overall pick, which they had a 7.5% chance at. Damn, man. That sucks. Oh, well. Oh, well. Let's sim to the Rule 5 draft now and see if there's anything we could take in it. Hopefully there actually is this time around, because we don't usually get that much options out there. So let's see what we could take. So we're going to go through every single position here, see if there's any Asian guys we could potentially look at grabbing. There's one already. Wow, 71 at 29. Okay, that's probably one of our highest overall players. He would be in the major leagues probably next season with Iwamura as like a number 2 guy. Chi Young Liu. That's an interesting one. I'm going to think about that. I might honestly have to take him because he's probably going to be the highest overall-wise Asian. Obviously, all these other guys are lower, so we aren't going to even look down the rest of this list for now. Is there any higher than a 71 here? No. Seems like that 71 is probably going to be the guy, which is kind of nice. It's probably the best one we've drafted yet. Nobody there above a 71. Nobody there either at first base. Second baseman wise, don't see anybody above 71 that we could use. Nobody on there on third base either. Nobody on shortstop. Nobody there on left fielder. Nope. Nobody at center field. Nope. Gavin Sheets, damn, that's interesting. But yeah, nobody above there either. So we are going to be going with our first 70 overall selection, I think, in these drafts. We're going to go with Chi Young Liu. I think that's how you'd pronounce it. Hopefully I'm not butchering that, but he's going to join the pitching rotation, and him and Parker Iwamura will probably be both in the majors next season. Jung and Nguyen and stuff like that might be in AAA. So welcome to Chi Young Liu. It's a decent selection, I think, for our team. Obviously, he's more of a stopgap until some of those other pitchers get to the major leagues, but that's not a bad pick. Is there any other good players out there, though? Probably not, but I definitely should take a look in case. Let's go to the bottom of the list and go up instead, just to make it easier to see if there's any other Asian guys out there. At some stage, there will definitely be a lot more, but right now it seems like there's always not a lot, which kind of sucks. Let's keep going through the relief pitchers here. Do we see anybody? Hopefully I'm not bypassing players, but my eyesight isn't really the best right now. I'm just tired as shit for some reason. Not seeing really anybody there. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anybody here. That's interesting. That's okay though. That's okay. What about closing pitcher wise? Obviously, Philip Chung would be our best closer so far. We don't even really need much closers on our roster, to be honest. But catcher-wise, we have a ton of catchers. I'm not even going to look at catchers. First baseman-wise, I don't think I really need a first baseman. Second base, we could definitely use if there's an Asian one out there. And it does not seem like it, unfortunately. Third baseman-wise, we have a ton of third basemen, too. Goddamn. Some of those guys will play second base, probably. So I'm not even going to look at third base. Shortstop, we could definitely use more shortstops if there's an Asian shortstop out there, which does not seem to be the case. Left fielding wise, we have a lot of left fielders. Center fielding wise, maybe we could use one. Let's see. Nope. Right fielding wise, we can maybe use one, maybe not, but might as well take a look and see anyways. Yep, nobody else. Okay, so that's going to be our only selection in the draft. So we're going to skip selection. And that's that. At least we got ourselves another pitcher to pitch in the major leagues next season. Like, there's a chance maybe we could get a first win next season, but obviously it depends on how good our batters do. So there is that. Let's sim to arbitration hearings, which we have none of them. So we're going to get through the rest of this offseason done pretty quickly. So never mind, this episode isn't going to take as long as I thought. It is almost around 40 minutes as of this recording, but maybe there's going to be some cuts, who knows. Depends on my voice and clearing my throat, because I have to do that almost every single episode. Sometimes I miss to cut those out too. Renewable contracts. Let's go to that. Skip through that. We are almost there. Do we need any players on a roster? We need more major leaguers, okay? If I go to Major League roster, I'm trying to think of who would be in a roster next season. It looks like we need to sign ourselves maybe like another 4. Wait, how much pitchers do we have total? 4, 7. You want to have usually like 5 per league, so we might need 8 more pitchers. Damn, man, that's a lot. That's a lot. I'm trying to figure out where I could write this down, though. Where do I want to write this down? I don't want to write this down on any of that stuff. God damn it. I don't even have any paper nearby me. Oh, actually, there you go. Now I have some. Because I do want to write this down of what we need to sign so I could have a little bit of an easier time this offseason. So we need probably like 8 more starting pitchers, which is a lot. Relief pitcher-wise, I think we are good. Yeah, we have a lot of relievers. Closer-wise, maybe we could sign ourselves 1 more closer. So 8 SP, 1 closer. We have a lot of catchers already, a lot of first basemen. We could definitely use maybe, yeah, we could probably use another 1 2B at least. Because some of these third basemen, actually we have a lot of third basemen. Some of them will play second base, I don't care. Shortstop wise, we could definitely use another shortstop, so I'd say 2 shortstops. We have enough outfielders pretty much, I think, as well. So I think the bulk of what we need is starting pitchers to get signed for this roster. So we can't sign them yet, but we will be signing them at the start of spring training. Would you like stop simulating? No. Perfect. Okay, one thing we also do need to do, though, is add Parker Iwamura to our 40-man roster because he will be in the major leagues this season. And now I could also add Sato to our 40-man as well, which is exciting. Perfect, okay. So I am going to go ahead here and sign all the players we need. And then I'm going to have to make some adjustments and get our lineup set up. And we'll have to simulate through the first week so we can see what the upcoming draft class looks like. And then I'll be it for this episode because this episode's already 40 minutes. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay guys, so we got it all set up. So as you can see, basically I did also lower all the players that I just signed. So technically every single player you hear still with an overall is somebody we've either drafted or picked up in the Rule 5. So we have starting to build together quite the squad of players. And it's very, very exciting. We also didn't have as much retirements as I thought, so I didn't actually need to sign really that much players. I don't think I might still need to sign some more players for the start of the season, but everything looks pretty damn good. And very excited to see what ends up happening. Also, in the major leagues, obviously, the only players that are going to be on our major league roster to start the regular season is going to be Parker Iwamura. Obviously, some of the Rule 5 pickups like Chi Young Liu. We also have Shintaro Fujinami. Tom Koo is going to be a reliever in the major leagues this season just because of the fact that he's already used all his minor league options. Yeah, basically those guys will be on our major league roster. And then in like AAA and AA and stuff like that, a lot of the prospects are going to be probably moving to AAA next season. Some of the lower end guys like Yamamoto, for example, who didn't play good, will be in AA. So we're going to have to adjust those lineups once we get actually to the start of the regular season. But let's sim through spring training and see how Iwamura does in his first ever spring training, because he's never been ever in the majors. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in this episode. So let's go auto fix lineups because our major league lineup doesn't have any players yet so far that we've drafted. And once again, we're going to have a preseason, or whatever you want to say, a spring training where we don't win a single game. But I do want to take a look at how Iwamura did. Not great. Not great in spring training, but that's okay. It could be also the team behind him. But it's probably going to take a while before he actually starts to play good. I can't actually even take a look at his WAR on the screen. I forgot about that. Because I think you could also only take a look at WAR and stuff like that during a regular season. And damn, Chi Young Liu was terrible as well. I wonder how good our team's actually going to do with these guys being in the lineup already. Like, I'm kind of scared to put Iwamura into this situation, but he's definitely ready for it. So we're going to keep that the same, and I think we are ready to go, which is good. Let's go to regular season, and we need to address our lineups and making sure that all of them are set up the way we want to. So, major league-wise, oh, no, why? Oh, my goodness, it made some stupid adjustments. I didn't want that. I didn't want these guys on our 40-man roster. Why did you add them to my 40-man? I didn't have that on before. God damn it, man. Well, these guys are added to our 40-man, which means Brian Chu and Kevin Sato are going to have to get sent down. Yu Chang is okay to be up here, and Shane Sasaki is okay to be up here because we're Rule 5 pickups as well. But Brian Chu and Sato need to be sent down. So I will send those guys down to AAA. I didn't even add them to my 40-man roster. That's freaking annoying. Just because they're high overalls, I guess. So we need to send down, it was, wait, who was it again? It was Chu and Sato? Kevin Sato, right, yeah, Kevin Sato. Kevin Sato, Brian Chu. Kevin Sato and Brian Chu. So Sato, not Leonard. We need Kevin Sato and Brian Chu. There's Kevin Sato. We'll send you down to AAA. And then we also need Mr. Chu as well. Chu, where are you, Chu? Damn, there's so many friggin' players on this team now, it's hard to find everybody. There he is. Okay, so we'll send you guys both down to AAA. It does get sucked that they got added already to the Major League roster. we are going to call up Eddie Burrito to the major leagues. Just because he's going to be the replacement. And then we're also going to call up... yeah, we're going to call up a third baseman, which means we're going to have to call up, I guess, Peter Iwamura. Now let's go with Jack Winkler. Jack Winkler to AAA, or not to AAA, to major leagues. Boom. Okay, there we go. That's good, and we'll get through our first week of action here, obviously, so that way we could take a look at the upcoming draft class. So let's simulate to date, and we don't have two valid lineups, so let me just make sure our lineups are actually set up in double and AAA as well. Let's just put these guys in random spots, because I honestly don't care about the major league team that much in terms of batting yet. At some point I will. Yeah, that works. And Maitan as a DH would work as well. Okay, that's good. Perfect. So that's all good and ready to go for the major leagues. For double and AAA, AA wise, we do not want Vincent Seo as a DH, really. Yamazaki as a DH might be better. Because do we have a catcher already? Yeah, we do have Nomo. I don't really need Yabu in the lineup, so technically we change the positions on those. Actually, it's third base that Nomo plays. And swap the positions like that. Yabu goes out, Yamazaki goes in. And the only position we technically need playing is a right fielder, which means William Chung, who came back from his injury this season, is exciting. He's going to be back in the lineup. Forgot that about him being injured last year. And then we will once again change the positioning on these guys. We'll change that out. And we will get William Chung into the lineup. Perfect. So AA is good there. AAA in terms of batting, Tom Lee is going to be the leadoff guy, as he's important. We'll get Sasaki into right field instead of this guy. Brian Chu into shortstop. That's good, and we'll move obviously all our top guys into the higher up spots in the lineup because they're more important than these low overall guys. And then we'll get Sato in at third base, which means he will go in for Iwamura. Not the Iwamura we drafted, obviously. And that's good. Okay, so we have 4 guys going to be playing in AAA batting-wise. We do need still a... what do we need? A DH, I guess? Yeah, DH. We'll just put Iwamura as a DH because it doesn't really matter. Oh my goodness, there's so much adjustments to make with this roster. We'll get Sasaki into here instead of this Iwamura guy. And then we'll get Sato in here instead of Studer. Perfect. And we get Brian Chu in at shortstop. He'll also go obviously higher in the lineup. And then Iwamura go in as the DH. Perfect. That's good. Okay, so that's all set up. What about pitching rotation? Sato is definitely not a starting pitcher. Don't even try it, game. He's a reliever. We know that. We don't want a closer in. Reliever. All these guys are relievers pretty much. I will go with, I guess, who has the best... That doesn't really matter. They all have trash stamina, so we'll just go John O'Reilly. Sato as a long reliever, I guess could work. Yamada as a relief pitcher, something I want over a setup guy. Philip Chung as the closer is something I want as well. That's good. And then AA, let's make sure this is set up properly too. Hayashi is a starter. Walter Cho, definitely not a starter. Yamashita, not a starter. Yamamoto, not a starter. Hideo Yamada is a starter. This is not a guy I drafted. That's the other Yamada. So we'll get Yamada into this spot. Get him higher in the lineup because he's an actual pitcher. I want Cho out of this situation. We'll just put any of these guys in over our prospects because our prospects I want in their actual spots. Yamashita in for Hugh. And also Yamamoto in for you. Doesn't really matter. So it's just Hayashi that's starting pitching wise in AA. Most of the other guys are in triple now. Alright, we finally got that set up. Apologize about all this random crap we have to do in this episode. Okay, so the next thing to do is assimilate a week of action. Parker Iwamura gets to play his first game against the Boston Red Sox. Let's see how he does in his first game. Lost 19-0. Yikes. Well, it's going to take a while before he actually starts playing good because this team is not good, so. And game against Boston, we lose 16-1. We need to still wait a bit before we can actually scout. I think 1 more week, which kind of sucks. And we're going to probably still lose almost every game. Stan Nguyen's been injured. Let's go auto on that, but that kind of sucks. And there we go. We're 0-8 to start the season off again. But let's take a look at this upcoming draft class in terms of prospects, and we'll also take a look at the MLB Top 100 prospect list, and that'll be it for this episode. So, in terms of prospects in this year's draft, we do have the exact same scouts. They didn't retire, which is good. Let's see if there's anybody interesting. Damn, is Benny Morcaldi Asian? No, he's not. Damn, this guy's going to be really good, though. At least that's the way it looks right now. Let's see what we got for Asian names. Is there anybody here early on? Not great so far. Navoya, Dominican Republic. Oh boy, this is not good. Considering we have the 3rd overall selection, we're going to maybe have to take some big risks this year. Oh, there's a guy, Chu Hong. A relief pitcher. We could use more relievers, so Chu Hong might be an interesting guy to look at this year. So there is Chu Hong potentially. Anybody else in this draft? I'm just curious on what else is out there. Ken Fong. Hey, Ken Fong. Was that the Fong we were looking at or a different Fong? Because he might have a 99 potential. This might be the year to take Ken Fong. We could use outfielders too, so Ken Fong. That's interesting. So Ken Fong is there. Anybody else? Stanley Oka. Okay, shortstop. We already have a lot of shortstops, so that's the only thing. But there is guys at least, so that's good. But not really in the areas that we need. What else we got for Asians? Anybody else? Probably some of these white guys are Asian too, but I'm just bypassing them. Richard Chen. Ooh, Richard Chen could be a good guy to scout out at 3rd base too, which is an area of need to hit in 2nd base. Richard Chen's kind of intriguing to scout out for sure, to see if he's actually a 99 potential. He probably won't be, but you never know. What else we got here? So far, we're up to like 4 names, I think, which is not bad at all. Obviously, the more names, the better. This episode feels completely all over the place, and if this episode's very long, I apologize. I just feel like, I don't know, I'm just losing track of how long this episode actually is. Philip Nishi. I do remember this dude. He could be a potentially high overall guy with a low potential, so not bad. Once again, center field. So center field might be an interesting spot to scout out. Austin Choi as well, another reliever that might have a very high overall. 51 to 85 with an 88 potential would be insane. Okay. His attributes right now at 5% scout look great, but I don't think he's going to be that good. But if he's actually that good of a reliever, that would be really interesting. I mean, we just drafted a lot of good pitchers last episode, but obviously it'd be good to continue building that up a little bit. That guy's from Panama. Interesting. Couldn't tell if he was Asian or not. What else we got here? At least there seems like there's some names, but still, in terms of Asian quality player-wise, I don't know if there's going to be a good player like last year when we got Chung. Let's see, do we got anybody else? We're only halfway through this list. Oh my goodness. Either I'm really tired or this is just taking a very long time. Koji Yamazaki, so another Yamazaki. This guy's a 3rd baseman, might be a very low overall and low potential. He does not look worth scouting out at all, but who knows, maybe those are all wrong. So there is Koji. What else we got for the Tom An? Another not rated Asian guy from South Korea. Another reliever. This might be a relief heavy draft again. David Key. He might have a high potential. He would definitely be interesting to scout out because we could use more first baseman, second baseman, etc. So, David Key. What else we got here? Walter Lee. Walter Lee. Another reliever. Yeah, this draft I think is going to have some good relievers. He's from Florida. Interesting. And we still have a lot to scroll through. God damn, man. I'm feeling very impatient with how this episode's been. Like, I feel like this episode's completely all over the place. But it could be just because I'm very, very tired. Oh my goodness. Do we got anybody else? Spencer Cato. I don't remember if he was one from a few years ago or not. He might be because he's 10% scouted. Second base, which is an area of need. Huh. Spencer Cato's interesting, even though he's not really the best. Still. It being an area of need, it makes it more exciting. Hopefully we can maybe discover some new prospects this year as well. Willie Koch, no. He looked Asian briefly, but he's not. Anybody else? Or is that all? Yeah, I mean, you still have a while to scroll through, too. If you guys see anybody I'm missing, let me know. Darren Hoffman's back into draft class again. He could be still another intriguing one. He is 21 now at this point. Yeah, Darren Hoffman would be not bad. Because we were looking at him potentially for last year's draft class. Anybody else? Nope, not Vega for sure. Okay, we're almost finally through this list, and then we could take a look at like the top prospects in the MLB this season. Also, let me know what you guys think about potential changes for next episode. Jason Irabu. Oh, yeah, I remember him, I think, a little bit. Kind of an interesting guy, might be good overall. And that's it. So there's the draft class, at least right now. In terms of, what was I going to take a look at? The top prospects in the league. Let's see what we got here. So Walter Jung is still number 1. However, in my opinion, I don't know if he's really going to develop into being that great of a player. He still has A potential right now, but he definitely deserves a little bit of a drop-off based on his play so far. So we'll see what he ends up getting to. Philip Chung is number 3. That's where he makes his debut. Very exciting to see where he ends up being in a few years, if he ends up being one of the top prospects. Parker Iwamer is 16, even though he's in the major leagues this season. So that's interesting. What else we got here? Stan Nguyen at number 25. A lot of pitchers in here for us, which makes sense. Yamazaki is the first infielding player as a catcher at number 40. What else we got here? Wow. So we just have a lot of good pitchers, it seems like. Charles Nomo is the next closest as another catcher at 77. Anybody else? No. So most of it is our pitchers that are on the top 100 prospects. That's interesting. So I think that is that. And that's going to do it, guys, for this episode of our Tokyo Tropic Turtles Draft Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it up to a week before the draft. We'll do some scouting again for year 5. Hopefully we can find some more good Asian talent, and hopefully some of these guys are really solid enough too. Because obviously this prospect pool does not really look as good in terms of us being able to build up like areas we actually need. Like I feel like we're just gonna get like way too much depth in certain positions, and we're not kind of getting enough in areas that we actually need. Like second base, for example, we haven't really been able to find that good of a second baseman yet. But at least the team seems to be starting to come together a bit, because a lot of guys are going from AA to AAA. So who knows next stop? Maybe a lot of these guys are going to be in the major leagues. But anyways, let me know anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.